When you're zoomed into your timeline in Premiere Pro, you can see that the tracks move in what appears to be chunks of time. This is because the smallest amount of time a video clip can be moved is 1 frame. Often, video is shot at 30 frames per second, which means your video can only move 1/30th of a second. This allows all the clips in your timeline to change frames simultaneously, which, in a way, is what makes using multiple clips possible. An audio file recorded at 48 kHz has 48,000 samples per second. Therefore, it isn't necessarily advantageous to constrict the movement of an audio clip in the timeline to 1/30th of a second. In fact, when frames are the lowest unit available for the movement of your audio clip, it is often impossible to sync your audio with your video precisely. In this example, I'm using a slate to sync the guitar and microphone audio to the video. Currently, as you can see, the audio is quite a bit out of sync with the video. To begin with, I'll put my current time indicator as close as I can to the point at which the camera registers the sound of the slate. Since we're zoomed out a bit, it appears that it's pretty well lined up with the peak. But if we zoom in, we see that this isn't exactly true. Since our time indicator is only able to move 1/30th of a second at a time, we are forced to move to either a fraction of a second before or after the actual attack of the slate sound. Now, we'll attempt to slide our audio in sync with our video. As you can see, we run into the same issues. The audio can only be moved 1/30th of a second, and it becomes impossible to actually have the slate's peak in the audio align with the video's capture of the slate. That is where showing audio time units comes in. If we right-click, Control-click on Mac, on our units, we can turn on Show Audio Time Units. Now, we can zoom in even as far as our sample rates if we desire. This not only changes the units we view, but it also allows us to do an even more granular edit with our audio. So, we can zoom in on the video to the exact point of contact with the slate, which we can see in the peak generated by the camera's audio. Let's move the current time indicator right to the point of contact. We then can drag our audio clip over to align with the video's slate capture. I often keep the audio time unit selected throughout my edit. As you can see, when you drag your video, even though we're displaying audio time units, it is still only able to move 1 frame at a time. So, the video will stay in check with the composition, but the audio is able to move in milliseconds, allowing for perfect manual alignment of your audio with your video.